RDP wake-on-lan and LAN environment. How do you configure RDP to be able to wake on LAN client computers? Basically, I want to be able to wake on LAN one or more computers at a time in our LAN environment.
Remote Desktop does not have any built-in remote wake-up capability. You will need to first use wake-on-lan to wake up the sleeping computer before you can RDP to it. To enable WAL on your computer, the first step is to check the hardware. Your network card must support wake-on-lan. Your power supply must support wake-on-lan. Wake-on-lan must be enabled in BIOS. Your router must be configured to forward broadcast packets. Your OS must be configured to enable wake-on-lan. Enable WAL in BIOS from boot. The actual method depends on your motherboard. However, if no such option is found in the BIOS, it might be safe to assume that it will work by default. Enable WAL for your Ethernet card. Open Device Manager from the control panel, expand Network Adapters and find your Ethernet card. Right-click and open Properties, then go to the Advanced tab and enable Wake on Magic Packet or something similar. Open UDP for port 9 in Windows Firewall. Open Windows Firewall from Control Panel. Only UDP is needed, but you can, if you wish, open the TCP port as well. UDP is a broadcast packet which can always be received by your NIC, whereas TCP requires the computer to be powered up. WAL software. Many such are available on the internet, by command line like WALcommand or its matching graphical interface found here. Source. Mentioned in some sources, but possibly unneeded. Install Windows feature simple pip services. Open Programs and Features from the control panel, click Turn Windows features on or off on the sidebar. Scroll down and check Simple pip services, then click OK to install the feature. Start Service Simple TCP IP service, enables port 7 and AMP 9. Open Services from Administrative Tools in Control Panel, scroll down to the service, ensure the service is started and that its startup type is set to automatic so that it will run with Windows.
Using wake-on pattern would seem to be the way to go for this, as long as wake-on-lan is enabled in the BIOS as well as in Windows. I haven't done it myself, but I know that WAL can be done on name lookups as well as TCP SYN requests. This Microsoft KB Doco specifies as much also. Assuming that you're connecting to an IP address and not a host name, connecting to the IP should attempt to send a TCP SYN request to the computer, as long as the switch has not forgotten which IP address has that MAC address. By default, Windows 7 should be set up to wake on either Magic Packet and Pattern Match. The latter is what will take care of waking on TCP SYN requests. However, the NIC itself will need to support ARP and AMP, ND offload, or at least ARP offload. If the NIC doesn't support that, then Magic Packet is the only way to wake up the computer. In which case, you will need a utility to run before attempting to connect with RDP to the computer. Your network infrastructure may even have the ability to send wake-on-lan packets for you.
If the machine is a physical machine, then you first configure its BIOS to allow wake-on-lan and just send it a wake-on packet, using any other software, there are many free ones, and then separately RDP to it. If on the other hand they are virtual machines, then you have a problem. WAL relies on the NIC to do the wake, and in a VM you have virtual NICs, not physical ones. In that case, you are dependent on your virtualization tool to support the WAL. If it supports it and is enabled, then you will send a WAL packet, as if you were doing it to a physical machine. Note, with the default Windows RDP client, you cannot configure a script to run prior to the connection, only after. I suggest you package mstsc.x to run inside a bat script that sends the WAL packet, waits for a few minutes and then launches mstsc.x, i.e. the RDP client. How to guide assuming physical machines, OS doesn't matter. This URL VMware settings. One example, you need to search for your specific vendor and version. This URL.
Yes.